People in California are adjusting to their wet and cold new normal. Golden State has been looking a little more gray as another atmospheric river drops heavy snow and torrential rain across the West Coast. Jonathan Vigliotti reports.
1 week into spring, another storm has blasted into California, once again closing Interstate 80 to truckers.
It's been crazy. This has been the worst winter I've been through.
And the snow keeps falling in the Sierra, an epic amount. California's snowpack has reached its highest level in 71 years. Mammoth Mountain has had nearly 700 inches this season. That's 58 feet, an all-time record. A seemingly non-stop parade of storms has uprooted more trees. In Tulare County, a family was rescued from the roof of their car, swallowed up by floodwater. And nearby, a sheriff's deputy pulled this dog to safety from the Tule River.
I got him.
In Southern California, the deluge that has turned these hills so green has swollen creeks, saturating the ground and triggering landslides. One this morning above Beverly Hills, and this one in Pacific Palisades came down before this latest storm even hit.
Jonathan Vigliotti joins me now. Jonathan, what are authorities saying to people living in homes that may be vulnerable to mudslides? Is there evacuation talk?
Yeah, John, that's a good question. Officials do typically issue mandatory evacuation orders for threatened communities. But as you know, it's incredibly difficult to predict where and when a mudslide or a landslide will hit. Case in point is this neighborhood. The landslide that hit here a few days ago only continues to grow. This neighborhood was not under a mandatory evacuation, which highlights a fear tonight really across the state. Much of the ground is saturated. You can tell by my hair and the trees behind me, a lot of wind, which could uproot trees, really compromising the ground here. It is bright right now. The rain has stopped, but officials saying this ground, these hills, could continue to be at risk of collapsing. The rain is expected to pick up yet again, so officials are urging people to remain vigilant for the days to come, John.
Jonathan, we've talked during wildfire season, and there's one coming up. How does this all affect the water supply in the state?
Yeah, so the rain is a good thing for a state that needs much more of it. And the good news, at least here in Southern California, restrictions that were put in place last summer, they have been lifted. This month they were lifted, impacting some 7 million people. So good news on that front. But when we talk about extreme weather that Californians are used to, wildfires specifically, you can see how green it is here. All of this rain has caused all of this vegetation to grow back. The problem and the concern is with potential heat waves, how warm it could get in the months to come. That could dry out all of this vegetation, which then becomes perfect fuel for wildfires. So we have yet to see how this exactly plays out, but you can imagine Cal Fire, all of the fire crews that are working nonstop over the typical wildfire season, preparing for what could be a potentially catastrophic wildfire season, depending on how warm it does get in the months to come.
Jonathan Vigliotti in Pacific Palisades, California. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.